Hello and welcome to Liberty Evolution Radio. This is the place where liberty-minded people come together and join in a happy environment to spread the message of liberty. I'm Gabe Holmes, and this is Adam Keller.
Thanks, Gabe. Yes, we're here to discuss ideas, be efficient with those ideas, promote the idea of liberty, educate other people on what liberty is. That way they can understand and actually live in a society that is based on free will, self-responsibility, sound money,
law, and peace, and representation, and no taxation without representation. Or no taxation at all.
and humanity. What do those tax dollars support? We support warfare. We support corruption. We support torture. We support every bad aspect of humanity. You can say, oh, I do not support murder. Well, of course you don't. Neither do I. But really, your complacency supports it.
Right. You may not be the one doing the killing or the enslaving, but you're doing nothing to stop it, and in fact, you empower people who engage in those practices, and you pay for them through your taxes and with the products that you choose to buy. And people are just too ignorant, honestly, and it's all with reason. There are people who profit a lot off of your ignorance, and we just need to work on educating each other, and especially people who don't quite get it yet. Once they see the light, they'll be on your side.
I think what it'll take for them to see the light is realizing, quote unquote, this is the cool thing to do. I think they are complacent because the majority of people aren't doing this. They are distracted. They have their gadgets. There's nothing wrong with having fun stuff to do, but if it's a reason to be complacent, then it's in the way. It's a distraction.
Right, and we're not saying don't watch television, although, I don't watch television, but really you should be conversing and befriending other people who spend all their time watching television and get them to see that this liberty movement is a really happening thing, and maybe someday they'll start reading instead of watching television, and then once they stop watching television, then the unethical media corporations can no longer influence them. So that's what it's all about, is you stand as a free person and stand tall and proud, and you are a leader, become a very strong leader, and realize that you're very special. You're not the whack job extremist that they paint you as. The whack job extremist is the guy who commits who commands others to do the enslavement, or willfully and knowingly knows that this is going on and is a participatory member in it.
That's right, Gabe. We need to stand up, and it's okay to have a comfort zone, but stand up. Let your voice be heard. Are we really going to let the mainstream media control the message? Do you think the powers that be, the wing of the government that is the mainstream media, do you think they're going to let anyone control the message except themselves? That's why individuals need to stand up and have their voice be heard. The individual is special. Stand up, be powerful, but you need to be educated. And even if you do continue to watch television or you have your gadgets that you're distracted by, it's very important to question everything. If they're feeding you the crap, if they are on TV doing a horse and pony show trying to influence you, saying this is the best thing, and then this is really happening, whether they're on the left or right, You need to question it. It's a horse and pony show, folks, and no one's going to stand up for it except for individuals. We are the alternative. You are the alternative media. You are the message.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and there are a lot of individuals who work for the media corporations who know what's going on, and they're part of our movement, and they stand there in the White House press corps room at their press conference with President Obama, and they ask him hard questions. They're trying to get him to answer the questions that we want to hear, but the thing is President Obama ignores a lot of questions. It's not very well known to us citizens, but they ask him questions and he ignores it and goes on to the next person. And in fact, today they banned the press corps from shouting questions to the president, and it's becoming very dangerous that these press meetings are becoming more and more scripted, and the message is being more and more controlled by the government, and the media is losing its ability to hold government accountable, and it has become faux pas for the media to stress this fact that the government is infringing on their duty to report the news, and not only that, but they really have a vested interest in this going on as far as profit making goes. The major news corporations who these individual journalists work for, you know, they you know who you are. They don't look kindly upon you. The establishment does not look kindly upon you, and every person has their own viewpoints, but there are people like us who work in the media, but they are being torn up by the machine.
And really, anyone with complacency has good intentions. When you vote, I mean, you're trying to change the world in a positive aspect. When a journalist goes to school and wants to be a journalist, they have good intentions. They want to report the news and change the world, ask the tough questions. But then, if they accept a position for mainstream media companies such as NBC or Fox News, who have global corporate parent companies, they are almost selling their souls. They cannot say what they want because the message they might want to say, they probably won't even be told. And if they are told, they will not get airtime. Anybody that questions the status quo, the warfare state, the welfare state, the war machine, they would be instantly taken off the air on the mainstream media. We have to see this government censorship for what it is. I honestly believe it's not a literal thing, but the mainstream media, really, they are the ministry for the message of big government.
Right. If you read 1984 or any other dystopian fiction novel, Anthem by Ayn Rand, you know, there are ministries and councils which control every aspect of life, you know, not just the Ministry of Information or, you know, the Council of Fiction or whatever you want to name them, you know. Those institutions do exist in our country today. They just, they're not so blatantly stated because we still question and we still have the ability to question. As long as we have that ability, there's still some transparency in our state. But we're losing that ability day by day because we're being beaten down. But on the flip side of that, we're also getting stronger, and we can threaten the state's power and return sovereignty to the individual states and to individuals themselves.
And our plan is through education. In our next segment, we are going to talk about how to return sovereignty to individuals in individual states. Click on the link at the bottom of the screen that says go to part 2. Stay tuned for all parts because this is going to get deep, folks. The message is important.